Blessings on blessings, yeah, yeah. Blessings on blessings, yeah. Blessings on blessings.
Shalom, Mishpachah. This is Pakah Yahoo again with another message titled Worthless Belief. And in this message, we're going to go over vain belief versus belief based off truth and how to deal with individuals whose beliefs are vain and why their beliefs are vain. So check out the message, and I pray that it blesses you. Shalom. So what is worthless belief or vain belief or vain statements? So you'll hear people say vain things, right? And we're gonna talk about that. But what is something worthless? Something that's worthless is something that's useless, right? You believe in something for no utility, right? Um, like for instance, somebody that wants to believe in reincarnation, right? Well, why? Why would somebody want to believe in reincarnation? You know, I'm gonna die and I'm gonna be an eagle, or I'm gonna die, I'm gonna be a fish, you know. And it's like, well, why do you believe that? And they're like, I don't know, it's just something I believe. But why? You know, have you, and the thing is that, well, why do you believe that? Well, have you, okay, well, can you share with me, you know, somebody else that that was in anybody that was in their past life believing in something, right? That, or anybody in their past that was a bird or that was any other thing, that have they spoken to you or anything? And a lot of times these people um don't have anything. You know, they just be like, well, that's just what I believe. So I'm like, man, why do you believe that? Now it's the same thing has to do with people in the truth. Why don't you believe in Mashiach? Why do you believe in this? You know, why do why do you believe in that over there? You know, and we're going to touch on these things because a lot of times for us, because my mission is to go out here and preach the kingdom, to publish the word of the Most High. But what I realize is that you're going to run into all kinds of people with all kinds of beliefs. Why do we believe in why do people believe in, why do people mix into the Israelite or Hebraic faith, Scientology or something like that? Why would somebody want to believe in that? Why do people want to believe that believe in Lilith? If you don't know that there are some people who would love to believe that, you know, um that you are Eve did not come from Adam. They believe that there is that another woman was made from the dust as well, and her name was Lilith. And there's a whole belief of man and woman being equal, which is a growing issue that we're having right now. Um, the next the so let's talk about belief. Let's talk about belief, right? And let's talk about the purpose of belief. So in my meditation, right? In my meditation, with the Most High, while I'm meditating on these things and dealing with people, I feel like Solomon in Ecclesiastes, right? So in my meditation in this, I say, you know, why do people believe, or why are there different beliefs, right? And I say, well, belief void of truth is vain or worthless, right? So I say truth is real, it is tangible, it is functional, it is a fundamental or foundational piece, right? So there are things you can do stuff with truth. You see what I'm saying? You could do stuff with these things, you can add on to them. So before I get started, let's take a look at John 3:20. Um uh yeah, John chapter 3, verse 20, right? And it says, for everyone that doeth evil hath the light, neither come to the light, lest his deeds should be reproved. But he that doeth truth cometh to the light, that his deeds may be manifest, that they were wrought in Elohim. I'm gonna say it again. For everyone that doeth evil hateth, I say hateth, hateth the light, neither come to the light lest his deeds should be reproved. So people hate the light because they don't want reproof. They hate reproof. Why do they hate reproof? It's like a person that say, hey man, let me live. When they say something and they just like, man, can I live? Why? What does that mean? Can I live? I want that to stick to you, because they don't want to be, they want to manifest whatever they believe. But in verse 21, it says, but he that doeth truth cometh to the light, that his deeds may be manifest, that they are wrought in Elohim. Why? Because Elohim is light and there's truth in that light. We seek reproval. It pleases the Father to bruise the Son, right? It pleases the Father to correct us, because why do you want people to be corrected? It's because you want them to live with true light and true life, right? But people who don't come to the light, they hate the light. They don't want the reproof. They want to exist the way that they want to exist. And they know it's not the truth, so they won't seek it out. Let's continue, right? Let's talk about truth for a little bit. Let's take a look at John 8:31, right? We're gonna do 31 through 32, right? And it says, then said Yahusha to those Jews of Yahudim which believed on him, if ye continue in my words, then are ye my disciples indeed, and ye shall know the truth, and the truth shall make you free, right? There's a purpose in truth, and the purpose is freedom, right? The truth shall set you free. Our people right now are in bondage. But you know why we were in bondage? We're in bondage because we're in physical bondage or mental bondage, because we're in spiritual bondage. And we are bound externally because we are bound internally, right? To further elaborate, let's go to John 8, John 8, 33. I'm gonna try to read this kind of quickly because it's a load. This is a heavy intro, but I gotta hit this a little hard so that we can see where we're going, because we got to understand what truth is, right? Let's take a look. John 8, we're gonna do 31. I'm gonna read this a little fast, right? No, 33, I apologize. And it says they answered him, we be Abraham's seed, right? And we're never in bondage to any man. We're Abraham's seed, we're not in bondage, right? To any man. How sayest thou ye be made free? And Yahusha answered him, verily, verily, I say unto you, whosoever committeth sin is the servant of sin. And the servant abideth not in the house forever, but the Son abideth forever. If the Son therefore shall make you free, the Son make you free, ye shall be free indeed. I know that ye are Abraham's seed, but you seek to kill me, because my words have no place in you. I speak that which I have seen with my Father. You see that? Even in Torah, even in truth, right? I realized that we have people that believe because of what they've seen and what they've studied. And then there's people that believe just because they want to believe it. You see? You know, we have Mishpachah throughout all of Israel, whether it's 12 tribe charts or whatever, right? You know, the Puerto Ricans is a part because they're part of here. They're part of Ephraim. All right, well, find me that in scripture. You see? but they never could find it in scripture. You know, any type of belief, you see. But but we claim, and it's true that we are of Abraham's seed, but he said that we believe the things that we have seen, that the Father has shown us, right? But he says, you seek to kill me because my words have no place in you. Why does the words have no place? Because they don't want it to have a place. It was never truth that they was really held on to. It was because of their own feelings and their own personal belief. It wasn't, I realized in my studies and teaching lessons that I used to try so hard, and Keefa can vouch for this. We used to try so hard to study to the point that I would have a rebuttal. I would have 21 rebuttals in any direction. We start a conversation about this. I'll be thinking about what you're going to say before you say it. Okay, he's about to say this, and when he says this, I'm gonna say that, and then when they say that, I'm gonna say this, and then I'm gonna say that. Then when they say this, I'm gonna say that. But if they say this, then I'm gonna say that. Then I'm gonna say, and so on, right? And guess what I found out? And when I found out that I had cotton mouth, that my brain was wrecked, I thought I truly believed that people didn't understand Torah because they were lacking. People used to tell me I was long-winded. Oh, here we go. I gotta go the long way about things, and I did, because I wanted to give people a complete understanding, complete truth. I wanted to give them what I had in order for them to believe, because I believe so hard, so much in this truth, that if I just give it to them, that if I package this whole thing up and give it to them, that they would believe. If I packaged it perfect, you know what? I didn't work hard enough to give them this thing, so that's why they didn't believe. I need to work harder. I need to work harder. I need to work harder. I need to have it all packaged. And then I realized, even at the end of it all, it didn't matter. It didn't matter, because the person got to want to receive what you give them. I had something that other individual didn't have. I had a desire. I wanted the truth. I hungered for the truth. I battled for the truth. I studied it. I didn't just believe. I have a hard time believing anything that anybody just tells me. Me and Kiefer go back and forth all the time. Even when I believe something, shoot, the big I had to pull me to the side and be like, "Hey, you said this, nah, man. I remember one time I battled with Netanyahu. I was like, nah, man, that's this and that's that. I was dead wrong. You know how he got me? Hey, show me that. Show me that real quick. We went through it together. We went through it together so well that I got a stronger and greater understanding onto something. I believed in this thing so hard because I didn't have all the prerequisites. I didn't do my diligence. I didn't do work. I didn't work hard. I wasn't diligent. It sounded good when I read it, but I didn't have everything else. I tried to put the roof on before I even had the daggone the foundation. I ain't had no floor. I ain't had no quadrants. I ain't had no support beams. You know, I ain't had none of that stuff. It sounded good. The roof was amazing. And then to come to find out, that wasn't even the roof. But because of my desire for truth, it says a wise man seek wise counsel. A wise man came to me, knew what I needed, and we walked through it together, and I got something greater. I got the whole house. I was complete. I was humble, and I learned. I took that same example, and I tried to do it for others, because that was perfection, what I received. That was truth, and the truth sets you free. But I realized that not everybody wants the truth. People want to believe what they want to believe. And we're going to have to figure out and work around that. But let me finish this real quick. So, because we're going to talk about that. He says, I speak that which is I have seen with my father, and ye do that which you have seen with your father. They answered and said unto him, Abraham is our father. Mashach saith unto them, if you were Abraham's children, you would do the work of Abraham. But now you seek to kill me, a man that have told you the truth, which I have heard of Elohim. This did not Abraham. Ye do the deeds of your father. You see, you seek to kill me. Even character assassination is attempt to kill a man that have told you the truth, which I've heard of Elohim. I've seen it, I've studied it, and I've sorted it out, right? But it's still gonna be people that's going to seek to kill you. So what are the benefits? What are the benefits of truth, though? Because if we have truth for a reason, right? So going back to my notes, it says that, well, what is truth? Like I said, truth is tangible. Truth is foundational. We know that 1 + 1 = 2. It says you can work it and prove it, right? It says literally, it says, and you can add to it. If we know that 1 + 1 = 2, I got 2 fingers up, but we know that, well, what 2 + 2 + 2 is 1, 2, 3, 4. You can build off of it. You can prove it, and it's tangible. Whether you believe it or not, it is the truth. It is the truth. Now, I tell you one thing. What if somebody tells you that 1 + 1 is 0? Is that the truth? No. It is a lie, and it's deception, right? I said, imagine you deposit some money into the bank, right? And then after you deposit that good old hard-earned money into the bank, and then you go and check your balance, and your balance is 0. How would you feel after that? You be in there like our sisters on the roof. Get your cornrows going. Get your cleaner outfit on. Y'all fixing to set it off. Y'all fixing to set it off, hit up that bank, and get your money. Because you know 1 + 1 don't equal 0. You know that. You worked hard to have something that's tangible, that is truth. So when you go there and get it after your labor, you're going to want it. So why do we believe in truth? Well, let's take a look at excuse me. Exodus 23 verse 25. And these are just a couple of reasons, right? Verse 23, verse 25. He says, and ye shall serve Yahuwah your Elohim, and you shall bless the bread and thy water, and I will take sickness from the midst of thee. Right? If we follow Abiyah's law, statutes, and commandments, he says it will go well with us, and it will prolong our days in the land, right? Right. There's a tangible thing that we're getting from this, right? Let's take a look, and this is just something. This is a light one, right? Let's take a look at a heavier one, right? Let's take a look at Revelations 22, verse 14. I'm not trying to give y'all all the verses before. I'm trying to give y'all straight to the point, right? And it says in Revelation 22, let me get there myself. Revelation 22, verse 14 says, blessed are they that do his commandments, that they may have right to the tree of life and may enter through the gates into the city. Right? So again, it's another tangible thing. We believe not just for what we receive now, but we need for 1+1+1+1+1+1+1 to add up. We need to do this, that, and that in order to get here. Because through our belief or lack of belief in our desire, we fail. Now we have to have the same desire and diligence to be saved. But we got to have a desire for the truth. There are women out here that don't even know how to dress. There are women out here that believe that being naked is freedom. But in their heart of hearts, that's not the case. That's not true. Let me continue, right? So vain belief has no purpose to serve because it doesn't add up. It's okay, it's of no use, right? It's a lie only good for deception and destruction. So those who serve or labor because of vain belief get a vain reward, just more work. Who goes to work to not get something for their labors? It's free. It's bondage. When you're laboring for free, you're a slave. You're in captivity. You're not really getting anything that you really want. You're doing it because you're a slave. There's no upside to it. You're in captivity, right? So let's continue. Let's take a look at so when we're going and we're talking to these individuals, right? We need to now, while we're going and we're going to preach the kingdom and we're talking to these individuals, whether they're in the truth or not in the truth, we need to understand, we need to be able to discern, right? Let's take a look at Matthew 10. We're gonna start with verse 1. And it says that, and when he had called unto him his 12 disciples, he gave them power against unclean spirits to do what? To cast them out and to heal all manner of sickness and all manner of diseases. Right? Let's Kiefer, jump down to verse 11, right? And it says, and into so we have a purpose and a mission, right? He sent out the 12 to go out to get rid of unclean spirits, to cast them out, to heal all manner of sicknesses and diseases. It was power that was given to us. It was power that was given to the chosen, to the elect, right? It was power that was given from someone else. In order for them to be given power, they had to possess something. They had to be in a state of receiving. But we're going to get to that, right? But those people have a mission. They were sent out to do work, right? And a part of that sending out was something that I was like, I didn't understand yet what I needed to do. I would talk to anybody and everybody, and I'll be talking to them blue, and if I'll be talking to the person roll their eyes, I'll be talking to them till they start going to sleep, and I would just be so filled up with trying to fill people up with the word that I didn't realize that they didn't have no space in them because I lacked something, right? And he says, and in verse 11 it says, and into whatever city or town you shall enter, inquire who in it is worthy, right? Hey, Kiefer, click on that word for click on that word for click on that word for worthy. Let me get there too. Matthew 10 and 11, right? It says, whosoever in the city inquire. It says to test thoroughly ascertain. It says to interrogate. I ain't necessarily going to interrogate somebody, right? But it says to test thoroughly and ascertain. But it also means to discern, inquire, search, right? We had to discern or inquire who is worthy. If this person that I'm talking to is even willing or have a desire for truth. I don't want to be casting my pearls to swine. That's why they trample you. You talk to the wrong person, they're going to seek to kill you. You talk to the right person, you're going to give them life. We have to be able to discern these things. Discern, when you're talking to people, discern how much they can receive. Discern, because sometimes we're at a level that when we go and talk to people, we try to talk to them on that level. We might as well be speaking parables to them. We have to give people, sometimes people don't have what is needed to be able to receive, and we're going to talk about that, right? So he says, and in whatsoever city or town you shall enter, inquire who in it is worthy, and there abide till you go thence. And when you come into an house, salute it, and if the house be worthy, let your peace come upon it. If the house is worthy, let that shalom that came upon you from the Most High fall on that house, right? Earlier on in the script, it says you have freely received, so let it be freely given, right? The peace, the knowledge, the wisdom, the mercy has been given to you. Now you freely give it to others, right? Light shines bright, right? If you have to close off light in order, you have to restrict light in order for it to not shine in a direction. If you let a light shine, it's going to shine in all directions that it can. Only you can restrict the light. Only, or somebody else can restrict the light, cover you up. But when you step in that place, you let your light shine. Because it's just like what we talked about in John 3. You let your light shine. You let people see the Elohim, right? But it says, but if it be not worthy, let your peace return to you. And whosoever shall not receive nor hear your words, when you depart out of the house or the city, shake off the dust of your feet. Verily I say unto you, it shall be more tolerable for the land of Sodom and Gomorrah in the day of judgment. You see, we're a blessing, as it was mentioned in Genesis 12. We have a mission to go and be a blessing to the whole world, to share the blessing that we have, what has been freely given to us. We must share it with the whole world and bless those who bless us and curse those who curse us. But the blessings run through us. But our blessing through our Father is rooted in truth. Right? But there's an issue. So now that we understand we have to discern, we understand the benefits of truth. Let's take a look at the issue. Let's go to Genesis. You know where we're going, Keith. Let's go to Genesis, good old Genesis 1. Because our brothers and sisters, there's a lot of brothers and sisters that's out here that believe in Torah or love Torah or need Torah, but when they receive, they don't have a basis. So they're liable to just believe anything. So we have an issue here. In Genesis 1, it says, in the beginning, Elohim created the Shamayim and the Eretz, the earth, and the earth was without form and void, and darkness was upon the face of the deep. So there was a condition or a state that the earth was in, right? There was an issue with the earth. It was sick. It was deaf. It was lame. Click on that word for without form, Kiefer. And that's our word there, desolation, a desert, right? Scroll down some more in that good old Strongs there, Aki. He says a worthless thing, vain thing. Whoo, hold up. So that means that the earth was worthless in the state that it was in the state that the earth was in without the Most High, without the light, it was worth nothing, worthless. It took for the Most High to let his face shine upon there. And it was only he that saw the issue with the earth, and that he worked in the continuation of Genesis 1 all the way down, is how he corrected the issues of the earth. It was too much. Look, it was darkness. Click on darkness for me, Aki, real quick, please. Matter of fact, go back to that worthless real quick. I mean, without form. Scroll down in the go scroll down in that ancient a little bit. In the ancient for me, please. You see that confusion, an empty place? It says it's a waste, a barren place. Also, vanity as a state of waste. You are wasted. You are a waste. Now, let me get that whole check. Let me get that darkness real quick, right? And this says the dark. I'm gonna do the Strongs first, Aki. That's my Ak right there. You know where I'm going. It says darkness. You see that number 3, misery, destruction, death, ignorance, and sorrow, and wickedness. You see, in that darkness, in my Ak right there, you see that part right there? Darkness, dark, obscurity. Imagine you trying to move around and you can't see. What if do we like for people that wear glasses, do we like foggy lenses? No, we try to clean them off. I like to play paintball with my goggles. I'd be like, Andy, why you didn't shoot that dude, man? My lens fogged up. Oh, shoot. Man, you better get you some anti-fog or something, man. Because if you can't see, the enemy will come up behind you and poke. You're done. You're out of there. Because you can't see. You feel me? You got to clean it out. But the thing is that the same thing with our brothers who are suffering from mental illness, that only know darkness, with our sisters that need love and they don't know where to get it from. It's obscurity. They're in darkness. They're trying to do things that people that they see are doing that they feel is something good. And when they get there, they don't even feel no better. I was talking to the Oxford Occultes about Lizzo, and I ain't going too much. Lizzo is a woman that is talented, but she suffered from ignorance. She is sorrowful. In her heart, she's in pain. But she's desirable of attention. And you know what happens? She gets vain attention. A bunch of people that lie to her and tell her, you're beautiful, you're this, you're that. Keep doing what you're doing. And it pumps her head up so she could keep doing what she's doing. Instead of, she knows the truth. She knows the truth within herself. But she won't seek the truth. She won't do the things that she needs to do. She wants and desire things, but she won't put in the work. She won't deal with the truth because, like we said, the truth will set you free. You need help. You're lacking things. But instead of people bringing her the truth and bringing her some light because she's in darkness, she right there, wallowing in foolishness. Come on, Ak. That's my Ak right there, y'all. Y'all know his name? It's Ak Natanel. You know what I'm saying? Because all the destruction, all the foolish people are filling her up with nonsense. She gets no healing. So I'm going to continue a little bit, right? So it says, that's why people have a bunch of beliefs because they are vain. Also because they only want a vain reward. See, people only want praises of men, right? It's something that feels good, but it's empty, like a big wallet with nothing in it. People see it, so they think you have money. You just want to impress people. You don't want the healing. It's like a person that needs healing, that needs help, but they need somebody to counsel them, to guide them. But what do? They want to go and find a coping mechanism. They want to go and try to tell and teach somebody else. You need help, but you want to go out. It's so many people that want to be inspirational people on YouTube. I had a friend that was like that. Couldn't stand the truth. They got their own issues. They found it in a book and stop reading the chapters. They'll read the book to a point and they get to the point, they're like, why you stop reading it? Oh, it was telling the truth about me. Because they didn't want to do what is needed to receive the healing. They didn't want the truth. They wanted to be where they were. They wanted to just live where they at because they don't want to put the work in. Even in Torah, it's people that believe what they believe. It's even people that don't even want to come into Torah. Why? Because it takes work. In Christianity, you can believe whatever you want to believe. I'm a sinner. I'm fine. The blood of the Lamb. You know, I'm not perfect, and it's fine that I'm not perfect. He knows my heart. I'll be fine. That's that wormwood. I'm not even gonna touch on that. The truth is right there. It's like a person that will battle with you about the truth and find somebody else that got the truth and I mean that don't have the truth, but that just agree with them so they can gang up on you. Yeah, that sounds good. That sounds good. Ain't the truth. Why didn't you read it? Where did you study it at? Even when we do now, the ox here, we put. Sometimes people don't understand how much work we put in when it comes to studying this word. We be studying hard. Weeks, meditations, we study to make sure that what we bring is the truth and it's right. And you can go and prove it. Test our works because it's not us that's saying it. It is the truth. It is from the Father. It's from Abba. Even Mashiach says that, man, I say the words that the Father told me to speak. And you think I'm a demon, you want to kill me. So not to stay too long there, but you got people that it's like a brother that dress all fly and clean, got the best car in the world, got the best car in the hood, right? But he lives in his mama's apartment, and he really don't got no money for real. But he fools people, and people still give him respect based on his clothing until they know what? The truth. He over there trying to bum you for $1 so you can get him some French fries and what they say, Andy. We try to go to the carry out, get you some French fries. What we put on there? Ketchup. What do you say? Ketchup. It almost turned into one word: ketchup, salt, pepper. Salt, pepper, ketchup. You know what I'm saying? For $1. That was back in the day. Probably $5 now. Why this man over there in the carry out? Why he's over about? Why he can't get out? He just trying to get the rewards of man. That's what it is. People don't want the rewards of Elohim. They want the rewards of men. They want the praises of men. Let's continue a little bit. Let's go a little bit further, right? So yeah, we talked about the word. So we got tohu bohu, worthless thing, right? Vain thing. So your rewards that you get from man is not a great reward. It's vain. It feels good. People love feel good scripture. A lot of people that I talked to that went to the church. Why? Because it feels good, but they're definitely confused. Now, this word, let's take out this word let's talk about the next thing, vanity, right? See, a person that's dysfunctional or lacks function, when I was thinking about what was going on with all these people, like, man, how do I solve this problem? How do I tell a sister who is dressed in a certain kind of way, like, hey, that's not right. Sister, don't you know that you're beautiful? But some of them might not know what beautiful means. They might think of a beautiful as a worldly beautiful. How do I tell a person, hey, what you're doing is wrong if they don't know what right is? They don't know the standards. So what if I go and tell a person that they sinning? They don't even value sinning. They don't even value the word sin. They ain't gonna value the Torah because they don't have a basis. They don't have a basis. It has no worth to them. They don't know how to value. They don't know how to. You see? Because the thing is that what they're doing. And so I was like, man, should I go talk to them? Should we preach to them? Should we do this, then the third? But sometimes when you go and talk to that person, guess in all my hard work of talking and try to prove, even me proving, I lost more friends for telling the truth for proving them wrong. When I came to the Torah, I didn't know how powerful truth is. Truth was destroying people. My friends didn't even want to talk to me because I was just seeking the truth. Hey, why did you do that? If I ask my friends why they do that, they just be like, why is your brand name that? What does that mean? Uh, uh, uh. I did not realize. You know what? Let me not go ahead and say anything because you become the enemy. I realized it was an old fact that I think back in the day when I was kicking it with a Mariahu, right? You know what I'm saying? And we were still on a old school go to meeting, right? You know what I'm saying? It was a saying that me and used to say all the time, and I got it from him. He says, you know, something that is dysfunctional does not exist. It doesn't exist. And it clicked for me. I'm like, man, I knew this already. I said, you know what's better? When a man of Yah or a true man or man in truth, pay no mind to the foolishness. Even most high said, man, don't even speak their names. Right? They don't exist. Stop shedding light on that. As a matter of fact, don't even pay it no mind. You do what is true, what is right, because you go to them in shalom and in peace. And that's what we're talking about in Matthew 10. It says, let your peace return to you. It didn't say go crazy on them. It didn't say persecute them. It just says, let your peace return back to you. Because you're still keeping the shalom. They cannot fault you, and they're not, or they're not oppressed, or they're not offended by you. Because a person that's not offended by you may still pay attention to. They don't see you as the enemy because they want an enemy. The enemy fuels them to do what they do. It's counterproductive. It's counterproductive. They don't know how to work. They don't know how to value it. They don't know what truth is. They don't value truth. And when you need to, as a discerning person, as you going out there to preach the kingdom, you need to be able to see this thing and understand it. You need to catch it, and you need to go through things properly. Don't go out there just yelling at people. People saying things for a reason. Listen to what they're saying. They're going to tell you the truth about where they're coming from. They're going to tell you their heart's desire. But I digress, right? So let's take a look at so the next word is what is the word for fool, right? Fool. It's Keith, if you may, it's H5036, right? Right? We know that word nabal, right? It says stupid, wicked. Could scroll down a little bit on that for me, y'all. Foolishness, vile person. It's crazy that these people who lack these instructions and lack this understanding, they become completely vile. Those that are in darkness have also become worthless. It goes hand in hand. They have no shape, no form, no function. People, the Most High couldn't plant the seed in anything until he did what? Get rid of the water, got rid of the darkness, and then put the land together. Potter with the clay. Then after that, he was able to do what? Place the seeds and give it a function. He had to get rid of the issues that the earth, because we know that the earth is the dry land. That's what it says, right? But he had to get rid of all the issues that the earth had because the earth couldn't get rid of it itself. Abba Yah did that. And don't let it be mistaken, because people try to tell you in this world that they can let the world heal them. No, healing comes from the Most High. People wouldn't have breath. People would be flooded in underwater right now if the Most High didn't correct it. The world would still be flooded to this day until he decided, but let's go ahead and open up those portals. Let's open up those windows and let this water, drain out. We would have no function. We would be dead. There'll be no trees, nothing. There'll be nothing but whales and dragons and stuff. It was the Most High that, see, people need the Most High to be healed. Don't let them be fooled. I don't believe in counseling. For real, for real. I don't believe in no counsel that is outside the Most High. It's not function, doesn't exist. You just talking to a person and you still didn't get to the heart of the matter, which is inside of you. You can't discern. So what if you're out there talking to a person? No, I had this issue with this and then, well, why do you have that issue? Because you know why? It's a spirit. You can't discern. You don't know what the spirit is because you don't know the Father. You ain't getting no healing for real. It's coping. It's coping. Confessing your sins is enough. You must repent first. You know what repentance take? It takes work. It takes work. It takes work from you. But you got to discern these people that don't want to work, people that don't want to study, people that don't even want to listen. You got to discern these things. And even our ancestors noticed this, right? Let's take a look at Numbers 20, right? Let's take a look at Numbers 20. Numbers 20, right? I'm gonna show you how close our ancestors were, right, in discerning this thing. Let's see, Numbers 20. We'll start at verse 2, right? This just goes with what I was talking about. And there was no water for the congregation, and they gathered themselves together against Moshe and against Aharon, and the people showed with Moshe. Hold up, the people knew there was no water there, and they said, and the people showed with Moshe and spake, saying, would Elohim that we had died when our brethren died before Yah? And why have you brought up the congregation out of Yah into this place in the wilderness? Right? Hold on. Why did you bring us into the desert? That let's continue. That we and our cattle should die. Right? Why did you bring us into the wasteland? They knew what the wasteland was, what the wasteland represents. Hold on, did you bring us here to die? That we and our cattle should die there. And wherefore have you made us to come up out of Egypt to bring us unto this evil place? Our ancestors understood that worthlessness, or something that's without form, the devil, the desert, I said the devil, the desert. It's a place where people and things don't live. It is dead. Because something that does not have a function doesn't exist. Our ancestors understood this. Why are we in this desert? We're going to die. It says, and wherefore have you made us to come up out of Egypt to bring us into this evil place? It is no place of seed. It is no place of seed or figs or vines or pomegranates. Neither is there any water to drink. So hold up. Going back to Genesis 1, our ancestors understood what the desert represented. They understood what it represented. It was a place of death. It was no functional good thing there. And there's no water there. They knew what a worthless thing was. They said, man, this place serves no function. We can't live here. Why are we here? You see? See, our ancestors had logical reasoning for their complaints to Moshe. They used logic to complain to Moshe. But you know what our ancestors lacked? They lacked belief. Our, our ancestors lacked belief in the Most High, but they were still logical with their complaints. But they didn't understand that they was in that state as well. A lot of people talk about a certain thing or an issue, and they don't understand that they are suffering from the same thing. What we used to say, Kiefer, man, I had to realize that a lot of times, what we say, when I'm talking to somebody, a lot of times I have to receive what the Most High has given me out of my mouth. I let it bounce off the person and bounce right. Don't light reflect. I'm just saying, you better receive that light. Light reflect. Just because it's coming, people be enthused because that they are a vessel. I'm a vessel of light. How much light you giving off? Are you giving light through a little tube? Are you giving? Some people like to control the light. I'm going to give this much today. I'm a source of light. I'm a mighty man. No, you're supposed to give light to the whole world. Not supposed to just control the light. But some people don't receive. People don't understand that what is coming. The Most High is having you come out, have it come out your mouth, because it just might be for you too. People like to speak and don't receive. Man, I be beating myself up sometimes. I ain't trying to have the Most High come to me and say, "You hypocrite." Right? Let's continue. Right? So, so, but we understood that it was seed that was needed to be planted. Right? So we need in order for the ground to receive seed, it takes work. You had to put the dry land there, have some steam or some water come from the dry land, but the Most High made that happen. And then you could plant the seed. You can't plant that seed in water. Let's take a look at let's go to Matthew 13. Because now we're talking about planting the seed, right? We want to plant the seed because we want to preach the kingdom, right? The kingdom of Nod, right? Let's go Matthew 13, verse 11, right? Matthew 13, verse 11. And I apologize if I'm going too fast, but I got to get to it, right? So he says, right? And he answered and said unto them, because it is given unto you to know the mysteries of the kingdom of Elohim. I mean, mysteries of the kingdom of the Shamaim, but to them is not given. You see? So when I was going through this, I had to realize that a lot of times when I be over talking to people, I use parables a lot when I talk to people. Those who know me, they know how I do. Praise the Most High, that it's a part of I can resemble Mashiach in some sort of way. Praise the Most High for that. But even when I'm talking to people, instead of me giving them a whole complete basis, I'll be talking the parables to people that don't have a basis, or the people that do have a basis, but to help them get a deeper understanding, right? Because I was seeking the Most High, and so He's blessed me with the mysteries of the kingdom of Shamayim. There are mishpachah that understands deeply the mysteries of the kingdom of Shamayim. And it says in verse 12, it says, for whosoever hath, to him shall be given, and he shall have more abundance, but whosoever hath not, from him shall be taken away, even that he hath. So the people in the world that are suffering, that don't have, if they don't have good soil, if they are a waste, if they're not watered, if they don't have fertilizer, whatever they have will be taken away from them. If they don't have any truth, whatever they have, whatever they value, whatever vain thing of vain value that they have, friends, family, whatever that they put before the Most High, they will lose it. And that day is coming for individuals that believe what they believe because they just want to live and they just want to believe what they believe without hard work and diligence. They will lose their life. It will be lost because it takes work to receive that healing, right? But why? But why is this issue? Why is this a thing? It says, therefore, I speak to them in parables because I jumped. Kiefer, why do people not believe these things? Why don't they? Why do so it says, for whosoever have to him shall be given, and he shall have more abundantly, right? But whosoever have not, from him shall be taken away. Why don't they have it? Well, let's take a look at Matthew 7:7, right? Matthew 7:7. You know, touch on that real quick. Because it says, ask and it shall be given. It says, ask and it shall be given you. Seek and you shall find it. Knock and it shall be open unto you. And it says, for everyone that asks, receive, and he that seek, findeth, and to him that knocketh, it shall be open. Right? Because it says, oh, what man is there of you whom if his son asks bread, will he give a stone? But even if we was to ask the Most High, we are son and children of Yah. He said he would bless our hands, right? That's Deuteronomy. That's Deuteronomy 28. We ain't got to go there, right? He will bless our hands. He will bless our household, our animals, everything. Whatever we ask for, he will give it as long as it's within the confines. But the problem, even with the problem with the Mishpachah, is that they're not seeking. They're not asking. So they're not receiving. And if they're not receiving, they don't have it. And if they don't have it, what they do have, whatever belief that they have, or whatever belief that anybody in the world has, whether they believe that they're going to be a transformer, whether they believe that, they believe in all the little nonsensical chakra stuff, and we're going to touch on that, it's going to be taken away from them. All of that stuff, it doesn't exist. So it's destined for destruction. It never existed in the first place. It's destined for destruction, right? So now let's go back to Matthew 13. Back to Matthew 13, right? So now that we got that part cleared up, so Matthew 13 says, therefore speak I to them in parables, because they seeing see not, and hearing they hear not, neither do they understand. That's why you speak to people in parables. You break things down in Torah and you try to give it to them, they still don't understand because they don't seek, right? They don't value it. They seeing and not, and hearing, and they hear not, neither do they they still don't understand. You working hard to try to give it to somebody and they still don't get it. It has nothing to do with you. It has nothing to do with you. And it says, and in them is fulfilled the prophecy of Isaiah. By hearing you shall hear and shall not understand, and seeing you shall see and shall not perceive. For this people heart is waxed gross, and their ears are dull of hearing, and their eyes they have closed, lest at any time they should see with their ears, see with their eyes and hear with their ears, and should understand with their heart, and should be converted, and I should heal them. You see? And it says, they shall understand in their heart, their inward part. You see? And you click on that word for heart there, Kiefer. And in the Greek Strong's, it says the thoughts or feelings. We have people with feelings that not attached to truth. Why do you have feelings? Because they want to believe things based off feelings, not based off truth. Because of their thoughts. You see, your thoughts should be submitted to the spirit, to your spirit. But if your spirit is weak, what is it submitted to? The flesh, evil spirits, all these other stuff. If you're not seeking the word, seeking that bread and feeding your flesh or feeding your ruach, it will have strength to have control over your mind and your thoughts, because you're keeping your mind on what? Heavenlier things. You see? Let us continue, right? So, but he says to them this in 16, but blessed are your eyes, for they see, and your ears, for they hear. For very, verily, I say unto you that many prophets and the righteous, look at this. For verily, I say unto you that many prophets and righteous men have desired to see those things which you see and have not seen them, and to hear those things which you hear and have not heard them. You see that key word there? Desire to see and to just hear. Why don't they see it and hear it? They haven't put the work in. Prophets and righteous men. It's extra work that must be done, that must go out. It's more work that must be done. So let me continue a little bit with my notes. It says, I say, people believe what they believe because of what they want people to think of them, right? People believe what they want to believe because they just care about what people think of them. You seek a manly reward. That's why Mashiach says, man, he says, I don't do things for the praises of men. Right? We don't do things for the praises of men. You get a vain reward. So I say that is why the Messiah used signs so that people would believe. He used signs so people would believe and work to obtain something that you cannot obtain no other way. So the things that we're trying to obtain, like people want to talk about the kingdom of heaven. Everybody want to try to go to heaven. Where does it say in scripture that you go to heaven? Everybody want to talk about having the Ruach HaKodesh. How do you receive the Ruach HaKodesh? Everybody want to talk about going to the promised land or all these different religions that's talking about, life after death. There would be no life after death if it wasn't for the Most High and truth. But now they want to make their own because they want to get there their own way, and there's only one way. They believe what they want to believe, and it lacks truth. For instance, right? And it says, so it says, work to obtain something that you cannot obtain no other way. So we know that 1 plus 0 equals 1, not 2. 1 plus 0 equals 1, not 2. 1 plus 1 equals 2. So you can have 1, but if you don't have the other, then you ain't going to have 2. So what if you got 1? So what if you're hearers of the word? Man, if you're not doers of the word, you ain't going to make it. You can sit there and you can read Torah, you can go and hear a lesson here and there. You can go over there and you can preach and you can try to talk to people. You could say all these bold things and be like, yeah, you could be like, Trump and have you shaking that good book. You could be like Kanye and trying to, doing whatever hysterical things with his ugly sweatshirts and and all this other nonsense, and he's suffering. But he has a whole church thing. One minute he's talking about whoring, and then the next minute he wants to try to, you know, I'm not even gonna say Mashiach walk. That's JC that walks. I don't know who he's talking about. I'm talking about them other people. He's talking about that other religion. I don't know what he's talking about. Even Kanye suffered. He was a man that was seeking praise and seeking guidance. He sort of in the wrong place. And no matter how hard he tried to get praises and love from men and from the world, that's why he snapped on Sway. You ain't got the answer, Sway. Sway's like, man, if you just do this at the third, man, the people love you. Seek the praises of the people that really do love. No, you trying to get the praises of the whole world. You're trying to get the reward of the whole world. You want to, you're trying to get the love from a man that don't want to love you. You're trying to get respect from a family that don't respect you, that don't care about you. You want to think that you have the best wife. Now you're a baby daddy. Now you're on Instagram trying to get praises or guidance from men because your wife don't want you to come to your kid's birthday party. So now you crying on Instagram. You're trying to use shame of men, not the Most High. That's why you lost. And everybody that follows him will be led into sorrow, or anybody that believe or anything with him are going to be led into the same place. He ain't got anything. He got no truth. He is sorrowful in heart. He's stuck in darkness. He has a gift, but no gift that is aligned with the Most High's purpose. It's functional. All the music that you make will be taken away. Your legacy, even if you change your name, it's taken away from you. Nobody cares. You're just gonna be that guy that made music at that time. They might sample your music, whatever. You ain't doing no real good, no real healing. You're doing some good. You're filtering all the people to go into that broad path. You're just putting everybody in a bunch for the Most High. That's all. You got to have two. 1 + 1 = 2. 1 + 1 = 2. You can lie to yourself and say that you got the other one. We don't know. We know you ain't got the other one. And so what if you lie to other people that you don't have the other one? Because the Most High is the one that's going to let you inside the kingdom in the first place. You can fool everybody else like you know Torah, that you about this life. He knows what happens in the dark places. Come on now. And the same thing for the people that you're going out and you're talking to. People will lie to you in your face. People will put up a persona that want to talk Torah and just want to just talk Torah with you with no purpose. They want to teach you something without even knowing if whether or not you know it already. I just want to share this thing with you, teach this thing. I'm like, man, but I know what you're talking about. But yeah, they gotta give you they're gonna text you chapters. When I'm talking to the ox, I just gotta utter a word. Give them a verse, my thoughts on the verse, and they already know what I'm getting at. Why? Because my ox keep Torah. They study Torah. They know the word. I ain't got to say too much. I'm talking to my people. My people do as of the word. They know the word. I just got to hint at something. I ain't even got to know what verse it is. But let us continue. I hope y'all rolling with me. Y'all understand where I'm coming from, right? So, like I said, even if you believe you have the other one, to have two doesn't you do you really, he said, do you really have two? And truly only have one. Now you're lying to yourself. You can lie to people, but you cannot lie to the bank. You go into the bank and say, man, look, I got $500 in it. Man, you ain't put $500 in here. Your balance is $2. You ain't got $500. I put, man, look, transactions, this and the third. You ain't put no money in here. So that's where we coming from, right? And people want to obtain these things, but they ain't put the work in to get it. You ain't put the work in to get that other two. But before we start going to the soul, where is a seed? Where is this thing coming from? Where is this mindset coming from? Let's go. Where is this divide? Where is this division coming from? Let's go to Genesis. Let's go to Genesis 3. I hope y'all are rolling with me. I understand where I'm coming from. Let's go. This is a journey. Let's go Genesis 3. Yeah, Kiefer, I know I'm in Genesis all the time. I love it. I love it, right? So let's just jump down Genesis 3. Let's jump down to verse 4, right? Now, we know about this serpent, right? We know about this serpent already, right? Now, this is Chua, this is Eve and the Adam, right? And watch how this works, right? I'm gonna say a little piece in verse 1, right? It says the serpent. Where did the serpent come from? The serpent was subtle than any beast of the field. The serpent came from the field. He wasn't even in the garden at first, for real. Which Yah have made, and he said unto the woman, ye have Elohim said ye shall not eat of every tree of the garden. So you already knew what it was. All right. I'm dropping back down to 4. And he says, and the serpent said unto the woman, ye shall not surely die. So hold up. So what am I getting at here? Chua said, if you eat from this tree, you will die. Right? She knew what Torah was, right? If you eat from this thing, you will die. Now, where did she get this information from? Maybe she got it from Adam. And where did Adam get it from? The Most High. Now, mind you, now let's take a look at where we are, right? We're in the garden where food is plentiful, shalom is plentiful, and you have free to eat anything. You don't have to labor too much. All you gotta do is just be in order. All you gotta do is be in order. And then we have the capability to speak with the Most High face to face, to really commune with the Most High. Beautiful thing, the thing that we're trying to obtain now, but we had it then. We know where all the food came from. We know where our protection, our shalom, our peace. We didn't even have any shame. We were covered at that time too, so we was nice and warm. Nice and warm. Then somebody that came with nothing. They came with nothing but words. You see, everything that you obtained, you continue to have, and you know where it came from. Those were signs. It's proven. All you knew, man. Look, let's see. Let's do that again. Deuteronomy 32, real quick, Keith. So I could, so because he did it again. He did it again. You see, let's do. And let's see, Deuteronomy. So Deuteronomy 32, verse 12, right? We started at verse 11. You do 10. All right, look. So he says, he found him in the desert. Oh, we back in the desert again, y'all. And in the waste, howling, wilderness, he led him about. He instructed him. He kept him as the apple of his eye. We're talking about the Most High. And as an eagle stirred up in the nest, fluttereth over her young, spreadeth abroad her wings, taketh them, beareth them on her wings. Just like that eagle song that Keeper was singing, was playing earlier today. Joe was rocking. Good job, Keeper. Verse 12, it says, so Yah alone did lead him, and there was no strange gods with him in the wilderness. There was none. There was no other anything, right? Nobody did those things that the Most High did, right? So now we have somebody that's coming with nothing. He said, "Don't come empty-handed," right? The serpent didn't come with a gift. I'm just saying, right? He says, "And the serpent said unto the woman, You shall not surely die, for Elohim doth know that in the day ye eat thereof, then your eyes, my bad, Keeper, then your eyes shall be open, and ye shall be as gods, knowing good and evil." Hold up. This man didn't even come with, where did this dude come from? Where did this dude come from? Why should I believe this thing? This is, people are going to come to you. This is a person come with worthless, vain statement. But I have to discern this and this statement. Well, how do I discern it? You got to ask questions like that. It says to ascertain, to interrogate a little bit, or to question. All right, well, who, first off, who are you? Why do you know the Most High? Why do you speak against the Most High? Prove to me, because if he's the creator of all things, and I know he created this and he's protecting us here, and I know that all this came from him, what do you bring? You didn't even bring a gift. You just come up here talking words. Why should I believe you? It's just like when people say pigs fly. Yeah, when you shoot them through a cannon. Where's the cannon? Oh, I ain't got one. Well, I can't even believe that. When people are talking to you and they're saying what they're saying, I have to question people, be like, when people say weird stuff, and I ain't gonna say nothing weird, but when people question or say something that don't make any sense, ask them 3 times, man. Huh? What? Say that again? There's like a person that says, like, I believe, I believe a man should, I believe, I believe, I believe, I believe you should be able to get married. I believe that you should be able to marry a 3-year-old. Huh? They say it real fast. I believe you should be able to marry a 3-year-old. You see how fast I said that? You say, what? It's a grown man talking. You say, hold on, say that again. I didn't hear you quite right. Say it again. I believe you should marry a. Hold on, man. You're saying too fast. Say it again. I don't make that don't make sense. Say it again. I believe that you should. What? That sounds crazy. You need to tell people that. Do not just let things fly. Don't let people say crazy thing out of their mouth. Question it. Who are you? Why should I believe that? Who does that? Who raised you? Right?